Hello YouTube! This is the first of two videos I have planned to look at priming Reaper Bones miniatures. The hardware store primers are curing and will need at least another 3 days before they're ready according to the manufacturer's instructions. I want to give those the opportunity to perform at their best, so we wait. This is also in anticipation of my Owlbear head-to-head between Bones WizKids, Bones Black, and Wizards of the Coast official minis. Subscribe to the channel if that's something you're interested in. I also want to say that I am not sponsored by any of these companies, nor is this channel monetized. I pay for all of these products myself. I do include Amazon affiliate links, and to date I've made $3.45 from affiliate purchases. I do appreciate that, and I hope it's just the beginning. If you like the channel and want to see me do more comparisons or product tests, please remember to use the links when you're ready to buy minis or 3D printing supplies. Today we're going to look at 4 methods for priming bones, and I'll note that all of these models were washed with soapy water, rinsed, and fully dried before applying anything. First on the left is bare bones. Reaper says we can use them right out of the package, so let's try that. Next is Reaper MSP Turf Green Thin 50/50 with water. Laying down a base coat of color is recommended by Reaper depending on how one interprets paints without primer. Base coating is also recommended by the folks on their forums, but I can't bring myself to slop on fully thick paint. Next, I have one painted with acrylic gel matte medium. I'm of the opinion that what the previous method is trying to do is lay down a base of dry medium for the layers of paint to stick to, so we'll see if that's the case. Finally, on the right, I'm going to test Citadel's Caliban Green Primer as a bridge into the next video. It is almost $20 per can. Unlike the hardware store primers, Citadel does not have a recommendation for cure time. The can says the paint is ready to go in 15 minutes. So first we'll check how the minis feel, starting with bones. And this feels like you would expect a Reaper Bones miniature to feel like. This is the MSP 50/50. There's a little bit of tooth here compared to the bones. This is the acrylic matte medium, and this feels like it has more something on it than the MSP 50/50. There's definitely some tooth there, and it feels like it has a slight plastic coating. This is the Citadel, and I am immediately impressed. It feels different from any paint I think I have used on a miniature, and I am not typically a Citadel or Games Workshop fan, but currently that primer feels very promising. I have a can that is full of dice, and I'm going to place the minis in the can and shake it around for 5 minutes. Let's take a look at what they look like now. Here's our bones. There is no change, and that's no surprise. This is the bones with the 50/50 paint on it. I don't see any damage. I'm looking pretty closely here, and I don't see anywhere that the base coat has chipped off or anything. I don't know that I would notice on the acrylic binder. It doesn't feel any different. And then for the Citadel, let's look at this pretty closely here. No, I don't really see any damage here. Let's move on to the real test. How well does each surface take paint? Okay, we are back with the close-up setup. This is through a magnifier, so forgive me if this looks a little distorted. I'm going to paint each mini on a flat surface on the mini with some Vallejo Game Color Beastie Brown that is mixed with golden acrylic flow release that has been diluted 20:1 with water. So then this is going to be a little awkward, but here we go. So this is just 50/50. It's maybe a little thicker than I would do my first coats with. And you know, it doesn't feel bad, honestly. Again, this was washed soapy water. I let it dry completely. In terms of coverage, that looks good. It's not really resisting the paint. I'm going to thin this out a little bit just to see how it performs in a dilution that is more like what I might normally paint with. So, loading up the brush off screen. Oops. All right, we'll just pick him up then. And on the sword, yeah. Not as hydrophobic as I expected. This is the Beastie Brown, which I find to be a little bit thicker than some of the Vallejo paints. Yeah, you can see the paint is broken at this point, so let's not keep doing that. Here's the shield. That is really heavy. I'm not happy with that, but that's what we have for our video. 50/50 Reaper MSP. And let me grab some of this 50/50 thinned Beastie Brown. And we'll just do this sword here because it's a nice flat area. All right. Feels about the same. And again, I'm just doing a big flat area for the purposes of getting this on camera. If you look at the sword, it's not bad. The coverage on that layer is a little bit thin. You can see here that the green is showing through a little bit, but I think that took the paint pretty well. This is the acrylic medium. Let's get some paint. And let's just do this arrow scabbard thing. Quiver. Thank you. Let's just do the arrow quiver. And it really feels like the acrylic medium is just grabbing the paint and really wants to hold on to it. It doesn't want to move around. And that makes sense because this is, you know, the same kind of binder that, or a similar kind of binder to what is used for the paint initially. This feels really good. The paint coat is not super heavy. Just make it a little better light here without blowing it out. That's the trick with this setup. So yeah, that's not bad. That felt really good. The paint went on really easily on the flat. Citadel Caliban green. And let's try this. Okay. This is a larger surface than what I've done on the previous models. It feels pretty good. It does feel like it is grabbing the paint, or the paint has something to adhere to. And it's hard to get in here because of the setup. It's really too close to my hands, but so yeah, that feels really good too. I did paint on it a little bit away from the magnifier, and I really liked how it felt. I'm pretty impressed with that. I don't know that I'm $20 a can impressed with it compared to the acrylic gel medium, but I'll tell you, it's pretty nice. The color on the acrylic medium is pretty smooth. There's a little bit of patchiness on the sword. It's not spectacular, but it's also a first coat. I'll do at least 3 coats on just about everything. And the one I like the least is the bones. Too splotchy. I think you can see it here. It almost has a parchment kind of look to it. Like this spot right here is really heavy, and then it's really light on the outer edges. It feels like there's almost no paint here. So I'm not thrilled with painting the bones bare.